your stock has fallen from over $23 a share down to near its 52-week low. If you own Aris Capital, you're asking the question, what happened to my money? Is this a crash, or is this the buying opportunity that income investors have been waiting for? Today we're going to answer that question using the exact same BDC scorecard we've used on every video in this series. No hype, no guessing, just the numbers from the SEC filing. Let's get into it. All right, here's our blank scorecard, and this is what we will use to discover what we need to know. Now let's take a look at a quick chart to get a better idea and understanding of what's happening. NAV stands for net asset value per share. Think of it as the book value of what you actually own. Now for a BDC like ARC or Aris Capital, this number tells you whether your portfolio is growing or shrinking in value. And here's what the last 4 quarters look like. June of 2025, $19.90. September of 2001, $20.01. December 31st, 2025, $19.94. And our most recent report in March of 2026, $19.59. Is this declining? Technically, yes, but barely. Over a 3-year window, NAV has actually grown from about $18.45 to $19.59. I'm going to call this stable and give it a 12, but there's more. Where do we get these numbers from? This is the SEC.gov Edgar website, and this is where companies file their official statements at the end of each quarter. And as you can see, we've got Aris Capital in here, ticker symbol ARCC. And if we scroll down, we can see the reports that they've filed over the past several years. This one right here is the 10Q quarterly report ending March 31st, 2026. And this is the chart that we're going to use. Now, when we click on this chart, it brings us to this page with the SEC. And as you can see here, for the quarterly period ended March 31st, this report is for Aris Capital Corporation. Now, as we scroll down, we get to the table of contents, and we're going to look at this one right here, the consolidated balance sheets as of March 31st, 2026. And when we click on this link, it brings us to this page for the financial statements. Here's our reporting period, March 31st, 2026. It also includes the most recent quarter prior to this, which in this case is December 31st, 2025. Now, as we scroll down right here, it says net asset value per share. And over here are our 2 official numbers, $19.59 for the most recent quarter and $19.94 for the period ending December 31st, 2025. So anytime you see numbers posted as to what the NAV value is, this is one location where people find that official information. So let's take this information and let's begin to match this up. All right, we filled in the scorecard, and the current NAV is $19.50. 1 year ago, it was $19.90. 3 years ago, it was $18.45. This trend is slightly declining short term, but growing in the long term. I'm going to score this as a stable 12 out of 15 on the NAV trend. For total return, ARC has generated a 12% annualized total return since 2004 with dividends reinvested. That's pretty consistent. So I'm going to give full marks on the total return portion of category 1 and score this as a 22 of 25. Now, this is where things get really interesting, and this is the thing most retail investors completely miss. Right now, ARC stock on 7/1 of 2026 is trading at about 95% times NAV or net asset value. This means you're buying $1 of share for 95 cents. Historically, ARC has traded above the NAV and sometimes at 1.05 up to 1.10 times NAV. So to find the current discount that we have is genuinely usually rare. Now, does that make this a screaming buy? Absolutely not. Not automatically. It does mean that the math is in your favor, but only if the underlying portfolio holds up. And that's where categories 2 through 5 of the scorecard are going to help us as we begin to fill that out. But hold on. Before I close out category 1, let's run through the critical red flag overrides from page 2. Okay, this is non-negotiable. Any one of these triggers changes everything. Were non-accruals rising 2 quarters in a row? No. Did NAV drop 5% or greater in a single quarter? No. But we're going to flag this because we did have a slight drop of about 2%. Dividend coverage, is it less than 1 times earnings? We're going to flag this too because core earnings per share of 47 cents against a 48-cent dividend is a little bit low, but the NII was 55 cents. So we're going to check the report from the most recent quarter that ended on 6/30 when that becomes released. Now we're going to look at leverage. The debt to equity, was it rising year over year? It was 1.09, went up to 1.20, and then back to 1.10 on the most recent report ending 3/31 of 2026. So there's no red flag triggers today, but 2 items are on the watch list. However, we're not done just yet. Historically, as we can see from the chart that goes back to October of 2004, only 2 events made a serious impact on the price of that stock. The first of which was the great financial crisis and what followed in the aftermath. And we can see here on the chart that February of 2009, the stock price hit a low. The second time was in March of 2020, which revolved around the COVID-19 crisis. Aside from these 2 events, we can see that the majority of the time that the stock price has been above its opening price all the way back to October of 2004. And so to find out what happens next, we want to go back to our scorecard. And so here's where we stand after category 1. The NAV trend is stable, long-term returns are solid, and the stock is trading at a rare discount to book value. So far, we scored 22 out of 25. Now, if you found this information helpful, leave a comment, click the like button, click on subscribe. Let me know what you think. Is there another stock you'd like me to review? Or is there something you'd like to share with what your experience with working with BDCs and dividend investing? Let me know. We'll see you on the next video.